Have you ever wanted to make a secret Minecraft base, somewhere to hide away your diamonds and your cake? Well, I have the perfect design for you today. What we're going to be building is a secret Minecraft base, underwater, built inside of a submarine, fully featured with farms and everything you would want in a Minecraft base. First step in making the submarine base a reality is, well, actually building a submarine. And once we've established the shell of the design, then we can do the interior with full Minecraft base designs with farms and things along those lines. And then we take the submarine, we dump it into a Minecraft ocean and see what it looks like hidden under the waves. And at the very end of the video, I have a challenge for you if you're up for it. But before we do that, let's actually get a submarine built. After a lot of work, we now have a full submarine shell design, and I think that is looking really, really cool. But before we talk about scale and color, I gotta point out that this thing looks like a little model toy, you know, sitting on its little pedestal. You could set this on your desk or your shelf, and now I want one. Now I want one in real life. But anyway, let's talk about the color to start with. Now, I chose gray over, say, cyan hardened clay or black concrete because I want this to be survival friendly. And I think that gray is a little bit easier than even cyan for hardened clay. And also black concrete is a little bit expensive because of all the ink that you would need. So with gray, you kind of get a little bit more for your ink. So that's why I did chose this. And it still does have that stealthy kind of submarine feel. So I think it's a good compromise. Now up at the top here, I've seen this area called many things, a tower, a sail, so you'll have to let me know what the proper terminology of it is, but I did add some windows, and that kind of gives it a little bit of a kind of a fancy look. I know that might not be super accurate, but on the other hand, it kind of breaks up the concrete just a little bit, so I think that is a plus. I added some, little, what do you call these, little fins on the sides here. I did use the nether brick, and I really wish we had something to match the gray a little more closely, but unfortunately, this is the best we could do. We could also try dark oak wood, but I think this probably in the end will look better than that. But let's push to the back of the ship here, and we've got our propeller, we got some fins back here looking super fancy. Now, as for the entire kind of shaping of this, I used plots and then really kind of scaled it out. So took like, like a circle and then stretched it and, pulled it way apart. And then once I kind of had a basic shape through plots, then I came in and kind of added my own like design to it, right? So I tapered down into the propeller here quite a bit. And then in the front of the ship, let's talk about this. This is where I kind of made it a little bit more boxy, but it's also a little bit more pointy than I want. So we'll definitely come through here and maybe cut some of that point off. So it's a little bit more bulb shape. And I think that'd be a little bit more accurate to a traditional submarine. So let's go through the hatch here right next to our antennas and our periscope down to the bottom of the ship. And of course, let's talk about scale. Now, this thing is big, but it's not as big as that we could have went in creative. So the reason I went with this particular size is because I want it to be obtainable in survival for you. So this will require a lot of concrete, but I think if you put on a movie or you put on a TV show and you just grinded out that gravel and that sand, I think you could easily have this much fairly quickly. So I think this is a good compromise between small and big, so you have the room to do something in the interior. So let's talk about that now. So I think I'm going to break this up in two levels. Lower level is redstone farms. Upper level is more living quarters. So that's storage rooms, smelters, enchanting areas, things along those lines that will make like a fully featured Minecraft base in this interior. Like, I cannot wait to see what this looks like. That was a lot of work getting that interior all sorted out in that confined small space, but I cannot wait to show you what I have accomplished. So in the front, before we go inside, I want to show you that I have kind of shaved off the front a little bit, made it a little bit more into that bulb shape that I was talking about, so it's not so pointy. I would like to do a little bit more, but as you heard that water bucket going off, I can't mess with it anymore because there is a redstone farm back there. But yeah, I am quite pleased with the way it come out. It's not perfect, but I think it definitely will work. So let's go through the airlock here. And once we get this underwater, this area will be our way in and out, and this will hold back the water from the other areas of the ship. But let's go down to the command area, which we've turned into our storage room. So I think the color is what makes this room. Now, this area is basic. There's no redstone, there's no contraptions in this area, and I think it works because, it's just a storage area. We can put you know, items in shulker boxes and then into the barrel. So we have a huge amount of storage. So inside the little corners here, we have our crafting bench. And then on the opposite side, we have all the current workable workstations that are useful in a storage room. So some of the ones that we currently have in Minecraft, like say the Fletcher's table and let's see, the smithing table, those are currently not usable for the player as of now. So maybe that'll come in a future version of Minecraft. So we got those settled there. We got our ender chest here in the periscope section. And as I said, I love the colors of this room. I think they go really well together. It's nice and bright. The gray tones are characteristic of the submarine, but we always need a little color in our life. So we have a splash of cyan in the corners there. So that satisfies our color need. And yeah, I really like this. Now moving over here, this might be a bit of a waste of space, but this is our bedroom. And I think it came out really nice. Like I said, it's got color, the lighting hanging from the ceiling, got a little flower at the table, and yeah, gotta have a little nice place to lay your head at the end of a long day of sailing, of course. And now in our smelting room, we've got our blast furnace, we have our smoker, and across the way here, we have 2 sets of our standard traditional Minecraft furnace. Now, once again, this is a basic design, and you know, you put your items up here, they go through the hopper into the furnace and then down into this, and of course it's fed fuel through here. So that is about the basic furnace that you could possibly make, but I think it actually works. I like this design because it's super easy to make and it fits really well in this space. But like I said before, I've got a challenge for you guys to turn this place into something special and way better than what I could do, but you'll have to wait till the end of the video to find out about that. Anyway, over here we have our enchanting setup. So, you know, we got your barrels of things all set up over here for all of your enchanting needs. Across the way, we have our milkshake station for all your brewing. So, you know, you got everything you need for your brewing here all ready to go. So I think that is looking really nice. So let's head to the lower level, and that is where the magic happens. So we'll take the staircase once again down, and our first set of farms down below is our melon and pumpkin farms. Now these are fairly basic, right? So nothing like over the top crazy. They have their Minecraft hoppers down below, and these are what picks up the pumpkins. Now I'd love to set it up so there's another row of hoppers below, sending it to one chest, but unfortunately we don't have the space. This is a very confined area, so we unfortunately don't have that. So you need to go to individual ones to find what you want. And of course over here, the same design, we have the observer looking down at the stem, and when the stem does its little disco dance, this piston is activated and pushes it down, and then it breaks, and then these guys suck it back up. Now you might be wondering what that sound is, and that is a mob farm. Only the second mob farm I've ever made in Minecraft after playing for 9 years. So we got lots of cool stuff going on back there, and you can see here is the chest. But let's jump into our spectator and let's take a peek at this. So we got this little platform right here, and we have our water source there pushing water, and that's throwing mobs into their fiery demise. And this little minecart fella right here, look at how cute he goes along his track. That picks up everything, of course, from above and puts it into the chest over there, looking super fancy. And there's, I'm basically embarrassed by this, so don't look too close, but that kind of is what controls the water. It's the best I could do. I am a builder, and this was a bit of a challenge, so yeah, I think it's okay. It suffices. But anyway, let's move on a little further, and this leads us to our food source. So originally I designed this exactly like a pre 1.14 villager farming operation, but we're in 1.14 and everything changed, and I realized that after like a day of frustration. And I found a great video suggested by the one, the only Doc M, and it was LogicalGeekBoy's design for a farm like this. And so what the design is, so you see straw hat fella right there, look at him. He goes around here, he picks up his produce, replants it, and then he sends it over to our one-eyed villager friend behind the minecarts. And you know, they're nice, they're sharing, they're doing their thing. And then I'm mean and I put these hoppers there. So every time he throws one to his friend, I steal it and put it inside of our chest over here. But if you want to see this farm like actually working and awesome, go look at the link in the description to LogicalGeekBoy's channel. And also there's like a million other amazing videos for all your redstoning needs. So yeah, this farm works, and I'm proud that I actually made something work. Even though I followed the tutorial, it's still an accomplishment. Anyway, back on the sheep farm here. This is your basic new sheep farm in 1.14. We've got our chest with our wool there, and man, these things are actually really efficient. You don't even need a lot of sheep. So you have a minecart hopper, above the grass block, and the grass block is being controlled by this array here. So let me put that back so we don't lose our sheep. So when this block changes after the sheep has eaten it, it activates this. Excuse me, what? How rude. We got a rude cow over here. This guy activates, cuts the wool, and then that dispenses down into our hoppers down there. So yeah, super simple. Now over here we have our Sugarcane Farm. So all of these pistons are controlled by that one observer up there. And then our sugarcane falls down into these hoppers below. So I would love to once again put an array of hoppers leading to one single chest, but there's air under that block, and that doesn't work because we are confined to a small space. This one over here could definitely be swapped out to bamboo, which would be awesome. Now, as for the cow farm, just your very basic cow farm. But once again, I just don't think you need a super fancy cow farm. Like something simple like this definitely works. The little babies fall down, and then you can harvest them right here. There's hoppers in this area, and that all deposits into that chest. Excuse me, sir. Anyway, one reason I like this farm is that you can use your looting sword, so you get a little bonus rather than like suffocate them or kill them in any way. So you get a little bonus, right? So yeah, it requires a little effort on your part, but also you get the bonus of looting, which I think is well worth it. So yeah, that is the interior of the submarine with a whole bunch of super sweet farms. I hope you guys like that, but now let's see what this looks like underwater, because I have been wanting to submerge this thing for so long, and we're about to do it now. Deep into this ocean, we now have our submarine base, and it is looking absolutely awesome. So let's dive into the water, and there it is, looking super fancy underwater. Like, I'm really excited because this is exciting. After all this work, we finally have it in its natural habitat. So let's go through the airlock and yeah, let's just have the feeling of being underwater in our secret base. Wrong bubble elevator. There we go. Now we can take the right one down, and we can take that into our command area. And yeah, this thing is now underwater, and you can hear it around us. You can see the water droplets coming off the ceiling, really giving you the feel like you are underwater, which is absolutely amazing. So now it's a challenge for you guys. I think I made a pretty decent looking submarine, but where I have a shortcoming is in redstone farm. So I want you to go all out and make the absolute best possible redstone farms crammed into the shell of the submarine. So I'm gonna put up a world download with the shell of the submarine, and I want you to go crazy in it. Make a video, send me screenshots on Twitter. I wanna see what you guys are capable of. So will you take that challenge and do some amazing things in the interior of the submarine? Well, I hope you do. In some way, I'm not sure how yet, but I'm going to showcase my favorites. So there we go, guys. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the videos and believe the videos are rating. That would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. Don't forget to subscribe because you may just become scarred for life.